Not there. We're not listening to him.
But we're inside.
I wanted to check these dead bodies.
It was red. I couldn't go inside. It was locked. Do not cough in public. Prevent disease. Careless spitting, sneezing, coughing, spread influenza. Spread by droplets spread from nose and throat. Do not cough in public. So what you wanted to say?
No.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
I have something.
I'm telling you, need to make this fucking...
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
It's quite nice.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
It was unlocked or you just forced
She
it
never
to
refers
unlock?
to my scars.
This was unlocked after her talk, and now we have something
If I
else
could.
unlocked.
I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye
Maybe
for
now
now,
we can go
Mr.
back to her.
But maybe he will now accept
Good
our
evening,
help.
Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
No.
Goodbye for now.
I'm telling you, you need to make medicine. But you need to find shelter for that.
It's up in our office.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
That's
Reed.
another one.
Dr. Swansea informed
Strickland.
us of your
He's
arrival.
German.
I could not dare to believe we'd
Probably.
have such good fortune.
Or Strickland.
Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
So in love. Why is he not looking at us? Ah, okay. What?
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me.
Aw.
I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Yeah,
For now,
leave
it's just
it.
theories at first approach.
Yeah.
My
So
process is
mine.
purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I
I'm
know
really
Mr.
still
Fiddick's
waiting
story.
for a really bad, annoying asshole character. They're all too nice.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and
Can you
flesh.
Stop it.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
What this patient died?
Goodbye, Dr.
Something with
Spitter.
his child. I guess his child did bullshit and he wanted to save his child.
No,
That's
they
the old
don't.
one, right? No.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're
okay,
going to be
another one.
colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been
Ah.
informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd.
These
Welcome
names are
aboard.
so awesome.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansey's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Nice.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansey has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with
He
that.
looks like a small boy.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
One of my favorite series, Scrubs, has a Dr. Reed, which is female, by the way.
Repeat.
Scrubs TV series. There is a Dr. Reed, blondie.
Who's Dr. Reed? Wait, I didn't read.
We are Dr. Reed, and in one of my favorite series, there's also Dr. Reed. Pointing out that he's jealous, or I guess no need, right? Basically telling him to chill.
You choose this time.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about it.
Let's just say I'm
That is
tired
really
of the
good
carelessness
writing.
around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansey, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Come on.
Right. First, the
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Wait.
I guess you won't be available for reasons, so I would rather take this.
Repeat.
If I save many lives, and he will be like, so what? I did too. You're still an asshole. And here, knowledge is our main weapon. Maybe he will agree to that. But he's more for humans, so maybe this. What do you say?
Good choice.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blind?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
That's full trust. That is full no trust, and I would say he has a point, but won't agree fully to him.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
He is annoying. Pippa?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
No, Dorothy.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Another one.
There.
You always knew the words to
Could I
calm
you
the
loot
children,
something?
Ellie.
No.
As for me,
Talk to him.
Yes.
There.
Unfinished letter. Pembroke House, 2nd of November. My dear children.
Sorry I did not write to you before, but it hurts like hell. Just to write these few words on bloody paper. Don't worry, Daddy. We'll go out of the hospital as soon as the doctors fix his arm. In the meantime, if you need something, go see Mr. Chadwick at the construction site and tell him you're Harvey Fiddick's children. You remember Robert Chadwick? The big guy with a mustache who helped me repair the house doors last spring. Go see him and ask for a few bob. He won't refuse to spare you a few. Sorry I can't work anymore for now, but we'll figure out something as soon as I'm out. Don't worry, everything will be fine as soon as Daddy's arm is strong again. As soon as the doctor fixed my arm.
So he won't be able to work for his children if he'll lose his arm.